Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I made a video yesterday talking about the the boy that was allegedly arrested by Pastor E.A. Adeboye, which eventually Pastor Adeboye came out feigning ignorance of the whole matter, that he didn't know, and then he gave an order mandating the persons who arrested the boy to get him released. Yeah, I did some explanation in that video. And as much as I believe that Christians and more so pastors mostly, because of their offices, because of the office they occupy, they should not be arresting people. And this I say with every bit of conviction. Now, this is what I believe. But at the same time, I don't think that pastors are without emotions. They can be hurt as well. And that was why I was like, the vulgar abuse that the young man used was so much. Now, in this video, we're going to hear some twists. And because of what I discovered, I needed to speak with two lawyers to find out the intricacies, what lawyers will call the innuendos of this matter. And one of the lawyers I spoke with happened to be a senior police officer as well. So I asked the question and I recorded our conversation. He knew I recorded the conversation, though it was later I told him that I did record the conversation, and I took his permission to use our conversation here. So you're going to hear that. But just as I finished making that video that yesterday, I saw a video of some individual or one man, someone, Mr. Paul Adama, claiming that he is a representative of Concerned Christian Youth Forum. Hearing that name for the very first time, claiming that they were responsible for the arrest of the young man, and not just this one, and the arrest of Abraham Davids. Now, I'm going to play the videos here because those were the claims that piqued my interest. I became confused because if Pastor Adeboye was not aware that this young man was arrested, then what are we then saying? So I will play this video, the first for you. Welcome to the End Time Truth Television. I want to ask you please to give me your subscription, like the video, share the video, put down your comments in the comment section. I've been reading some comments, some good, some not so good, some also very vulgar. But I will not arrest you. All right, thank you very much. Here we go.
Hallelujah. Special greetings to everyone. My name is James Paul Adama, and I am the convener of the Concerned Christian Youth Forum. I was deeply disturbed to come across a recent video in which an individual identified as a 32-year-old Ogunsayo Olumide John launched a vicious verbal assault on Pastor E.A. Adeboye, one of the most revered Christian leaders in our nation as well as in the world today. In a shocking display of disrespect and defiance, Mr. Ogunsayo branded Pastor Adeboye as a very stupid person, a fool, alleging that he had instructed his congregation to engage in 100 days fast.
But Pastor Adeboye, I dey hear say you talk say make dem fast and pray for 100 days for Nigeria. Shey na true? Because this time I want to ask you. If not true, say you talk am, say more fast for 100 days for Nigeria. You are a stupid person. If not true, say na you talk am. You no get sense. Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye of Redeem. If not true, say you talk, say more fast for 100 days for Nigeria. You are a stupid person. For 100 days, now you go take suffer back to back. Oh, you poor. If not true, say you talk am. Stupid idiot. If not true, say you talk am. Nonsense.
This brazen act of cyber harassment is not only reprehensible, but also strikes at the heart of our cultural norms and values. It undermines the crucial principle of respect for elders that is so deeply embedded in our society and threatens to erode the very foundations of our framework. The current social media landscape has exposed a disturbing trend among the young generations, where they are brazenly attacking and insulting respected Christian leaders with impunity, all in the name of content creating. This phenomenon of moral degeneration is now endemic in our society. This phenomenon of moral degeneration is now endemic in our society, reaching unprecedented levels that challenges the very fabric of our values. Christian leaders and all elders in our society deserve to be treated with the uttermost respect as they represent the wisdom, experience, and cultural legacy of our nation. The erosion of this fundamental principle of respect for elders is a worrisome development that must be addressed with urgency. Targeting such a prominent and respected figure like Pastor E.A. Adeboye and others serve as a stark reminder of the growing menace of cyber harassment and the urgent need to address it before it spirals out of control. This is to inform the general public that the said Ogunsayo Olumide John has been arrested and will be charged to court for his unprovoked, distasteful, and disrespectful insult directed at the revered Christian leader, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, on the social media platform TikTok, Facebook, X. The Concerned Christian Youth Forum is behind this arrest. Let me reiterate that as Concerned Christian Youth Forum, we will no longer fold our arms and watch such reprehensible behaviors, especially those targeting highly esteemed and prominent figures like genuine leaders of the Christian faith. Such attacks will no longer be tolerated or condoned in our nation. Ogunsawo Olamide John's insult constituted a grave violation of the Nigeria Cybercrime Law, specifically Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Prohibition, Prevention, etc. Act 2024 as amended, which criminalized cyber harassment, making it punishable by imprisonment. His action constituted cyber harassment under the law as he maliciously and intentionally insulted and defamed the person and character of Pastor E.A. Adeboye, a revered religious leader, with the intent to publicly embarrass him, emotionally humiliate him, and harm his reputation in violation of Section 24(1) of the Act. Given the gravity of this issue and its far-reaching implications, I employ the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the Department of State Service, and all the other security agencies to redouble their efforts in combating this growing threat to our societal moral fiber. Immediate and decisive action is imperative to curb the pervasive trend of this cyber harassment and abuse of Christianity and Christian leaders on social media. I call for increased monitoring, swift and severe punishment for offenders, and robust awareness campaigns that emphasize the importance of respecting the faith and belief of people, as well as genuine leaders of faith. And to this end again, I want to let the public know that the arrest of Ogunsayo Olamide John is done by the Concerned Christian Youth Forum. And once again, I am the convener of the Concerned Christian Youth Forum. Thank you and God bless you.
Now, as at this moment, I think the young man has been released because I saw a picture of him being surrounded by Moyele Showore and Inibehe Efyong and some other persons. They took a picture. And you know that it was actually Showore that wrote the petition. Wrote the social media information that had a kind of brought this into the fore. We just departed the DIG Dasuki Galandashi led Federal Investigation Department, FID of the Nigerian Police Force at Police NG, where we met Olumide Ogunsawo, aka at Sea King 303. He was in the company of police officers who had traveled to Lagos to kidnap him at Adeyonju Deji and Marshal DF Abubakar. We present as lawyers representing at Sea King 303 and standing in for at Inibehe Efyong. To our surprise, they disclosed that Olumide's recent ordeal resulted from alleged cyberbullying against Pastor E. Adeboye. At Pastor E. A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the at RCCG HQ Redeemed Christian Church of God, in a TikTok session at Sea King 303 did in December of 2024. According to them, one Paul James Adama, using the name of one Christian association or group affiliated with Police PPRO Adejobi Olumuyiwa at Prince Moye 1, submitted a petition to their office on behalf of the at RCCG General Overseer. We asked how a TikTok video by at Sea King 303 could bully or frighten a whole general overseer protected by heavenly angels and worldly security agencies. They quickly ask that we go and come back after Jumat prayers. But apparently, they have no plan to free him from their unjust custody. So, obviously, it wasn't just one video that this young man made. He has been on Adeboye's case for a very long time. At least about 3 videos that he had made about Adeboye.
But Pastor Adeboye, I dey hear say you talk say make dem fast and pray for 100 days for Nigeria. Shey na true? Because this time I want dey ask. So if na true, say you talk am, say make fast for 100 days for Nigeria. You are a stupid person. If na true, say na you talk am. You no get sense. Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye of Redeem. If na true, say you talk, say make fast for 100 days for Nigeria. You are a stupid person. For 100 days, now you go take suffer back to back. Oh, you cool. If na true, say you talk am. Stupid idiot. If na true, say you talk am. Nonsense. Pastor Adeboye, if fire want to start burning in this country, true, like you said, if true, say you see and say fire go burn for this country, now you, yes, it go start for you and that your church, it go burn. Because you, during Jonathan regime, that was selling fuel less than 200 naira, you came outside to protest with Tinubu and the rest, to hijack this whole thing, to bring these evil people inside. But you now, that same person now, you are telling that your congregation now to fast and pray for Nigeria. They should keep praying. They cannot pray during Jonathan. No. They did not pray. You took action. You brought them out. Come and protest. But now that they are selling, they are buying food to survive is hard. You cannot tell them to come outside and protest. You cannot bring them now to ask for their rights. You cannot voice out for them. The only thing you are telling them is to pray, fast, pray. But you did not pray during Jonathan. You came outside to come and protest to join them to hijack the Pastor Adeboye, useless boy. The other day I tell you say shame they knock on your door. It is say I dey joke. Say the shame never they knock on your door like this. I tell you, I warn you, you know, yeah. During Jonathan, when Jonathan dey with the economy is better pass this one like mad. You come outside though without your play card. Did they see your picture? You come outside, come they protest. Now when you don't bring down a corruption enter, you don't bring down your jagaba enter now. You they tell us say we need prayer for restoration. You say we could they thank God, say dollar no enter 10K. You see say he be jobless and a useless person. Now evil person wanna be for this. Now I don't tell una say una go receive and one after the other. This time I don't need to they shout again. I don't shout pass. Now make I just dey they enjoy and now they collect time. You don't understand? You. Oh, Nisu. Adeboye Abigilok Borukwe. I'm outside. Let's party.
Now, for some persons who may think I am holding brief for Adeboye and, saying or insisting or saying that his arrest was justified, maybe you don't understand. You may have to go back and listen again. Now, you see, the level it has gotten to, no one is safe now because everybody, any little thing now is cyberbullying. Of course, I'm a victim of that. But like I said yesterday in the video I made, I want to, because I was a victim of this unjust system, that some persons are trying to actually exploit to intimidate the less privileged. I won't also sit here and tell you that what the young man said was right. I was speaking and I'm speaking based on morals. It was wrong for him to have used the kind of languages that he used against Adeboye. But be it as it may, I have not said that what he said warranted an arrest. And even if it warranted an arrest, pastors should not be arresting people. Pastors, because of their position and the office, should learn humility from our Lord Jesus Christ. But I have also said that Pastor Adeboye, I said it before I even saw the video he made or the comments he released while addressing his members. I've not heard or read where Pastor Adeboye was said to have arrested anybody, and it has been proven. I've not seen. Even early this year or late last year, some persons did this to him, using his picture to generate some form of funny images that look like Adeboye has become an alhaji. He referenced it during, I think, maybe during the crossover night or something like that, or the New Year service. He made reference to that, but that was where it ended. But what I am trying to achieve in this video is that, number one, at least the statement from Adeboye now has set a standard for younger ministers who are fond of arresting anybody they can arrest and intimidating anybody they can intimidate. Now, Pastor Adeboye has ordered that the young man be released. In case you didn't watch the video I made yesterday, listen to what Pastor Adeboye said on that.
He told us at the beginning of the year that the mockers will become even more active. They will become bolder, they will mock. I heard that there was someone who lambasted me thoroughly because what's my offense? Because I asked my people to fast for 100 days. I didn't ask him who. I didn't even ask anybody who is not a member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God to fast. Only my children. Only my children. I was told that some people got so angry and they went and arrested the fellow. Release him. He's fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, like I said, I went ahead to inquire because when this Paul Adama came claiming that it was not Pastor Adeboye that arrested the young man, neither was it Pastor Paul Enenche that arrested Abraham Daniels. Maybe I should give you that first before I go into what I want us to say.
My name is James Paul Adama. I'm an adult male and member of a Christian denomination in Nigeria. I and the entire Christian community are alarmed by the blasphemous and scandalous publications, contents, and comments of persons and group of persons on social media, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram against the Christian faith and renowned Christian leaders in Nigeria on a sustained basis. Across the world, the hazards of social media, especially cyberbullying, has assumed a worrisome dimension. In Nigeria, it is more worrisome as these attacks are targeted against the Christian faith and fathers of faith in Nigeria. Almost every content creator in Nigeria is using the mockery and the denigration of Christianity to trend and generate traffic on social media. This is defamatory, denigrating, and blasphemous to Christianity, and therefore unacceptable. No genuine Christian can watch with indifference the attacks on Christianity and Christian leaders as is done in Nigeria.
Now, I really don't know what makes this man think that he can speak for the entire Christian community in Nigeria. And the beginning of his statement was very flawed because I don't feel the way he's feeling. I'm not thinking in the same light of his thoughts. So he has no right to come out here and co-opt every one of us and rope us into his ideas and whatever his agendas are. I don't, even though, yes, there are some persons who think that, shouting vulgars at pastors gives them traffic, but not all of us that do that. Well, anyway, let's keep listening to him.
This is why I, like every other Christian and Christian youth who is deeply concerned and troubled by this unwarranted assault, have reason to say, enough, it is enough. Bearing in mind the far-reaching consequences of the actions of these cyberbullies on society in general and on Christianity in particular, it is time to nip these menace in the bud using applicable acts and legislation. Before this time, a self-acclaimed prophet in Lagos was arrested on account of this assault on social media against a revered man of God and in the trace system. And after his encounter with the long arm of the law, I was behind his arrest. One of those online bullies had recently called Christianity a scam. Can you imagine that? Calling a whole faith a scam. He even went further to allege in a viral podcast that a certain revered man of God was into faking of miracles. The miracles in the said church were being staged. What can be more defamatory? This allegation is waiting, and therefore the applicable legal process will take its course.
Now, unfortunately, well, in as much as I also know that, like I said, there are some things that are being said that are untrue, and like calling Christianity a scam. We are Christians. We don't fight for God. It is the people in the other religion that fights for their God. We don't fight for our God. So you can't come here and be spitting this nonsense. We know Christianity is not a scam. So if somebody said Christianity was a scam, that is his business. We won't come out and begin to arrest people and clamp them into detention because they expressed their views. Jesus should have killed all those people that opposed him. The disciples and apostles of Christ who were anointed, they had the power to kill and to make alive, as that time too, should have also made everybody that opposed them to die. But they didn't do that. So I don't know what your mission is anyway. So without any doubt, I don't know which self-proclaimed prophet that he claimed was arrested in Lagos, but obviously you know that at this point in time he was referring to Abraham Daniels.
Some time ago, my attention was also drawn to a publication by one of these online bloggers that said that a certain man of God and his sons are giving their consent for the sodomization of youths in their denomination. I will make sure they prove beyond all reasonable doubt the veracity of this claim in a court of competent jurisdiction. For the avoidance of doubt, the recent arrest of one Abraham Daniel and others, I was behind it. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that attacks on Christianity and Christian leaders will no longer be tolerated. I will use those who have already erred on the side of the law on cyberbullying as a litmus test of my resolve to stop once and for all the unwarranted attacks on Christianity and Christian leaders in Nigeria. Thank you and God bless.
Well, this for me is arrant nonsense anyway, because the pride with which he was even speaking, I don't know who has made him this defender and the speaker of the Christian church in Nigeria. But that is it. By the way, it is the system that throws this kind of people up. It's the system that throws this kind of people up. I don't know if he has people backing him up, but the I in his statements is even sounding very ridiculous. Anyways, he said he was responsible for the arrest of so many people, including Abraham Daniels. So when I saw that video, most especially the one that has to do with this young man, and Pastor Adeboye saying that he wasn't aware he was arrested, and it seems like he wasn't even aware that the young man insulted him the way he did and ordered for him to be released. I started asking myself, what is happening? I was like, is it possible for someone to write a petition on my behalf to the police against somebody who felt I've been infringed, my rights have been infringed upon, or have been insulted? And meanwhile, insult is not actually a crime. Insult is not a crime. Just that morally speaking and culturally speaking, I still think that the young man went overboard. Even Aduni felt the same way.
So that was, I think, one of the video. I think there's another one. The one I saw yesterday is different from this one. Number one, I will speak the truth here. The truth has to be told. Number one, the guy did not speak well. Let's be honest here. In as much as we don't agree with what they are doing, there is a way you can still pass your message. It won't look as if you are attacking them. You can attack what they say. But to now say, he is this, he is that, shaking it here. All the words he was using for the man was too disrespectful. He can pass his message. We all spoke on this fasting thing. Okay? Apart from the fact that these people are using power play now. Now we know police and pastors are now working together. Okay? Apart from the fact that they are working together, if we have to pass our message, you find a way to pass that your message. Even a Migon, as old as I am, I cannot use those words for Baba. I will not. That was too much. Hopefully they temper justice with mercy, because they were looking for somebody to use as a scapegoat as things are.
So I decided to make inquiries. I decided to speak to some persons that probably should know better. I spoke to a barrister, a sound one at that. He told me that it is not possible, but the Nigeria of today, anything and everything is possible in Nigeria. And just like I was saying, if somebody should shamelessly present himself as a lapdog in the name that he's defending the church or the pastors? Because I don't understand the involvement of this person claiming that he is championing the cause of defending pastors because pastors in Nigeria are being abused, and without the consent of the persons, allegedly. I wonder what is happening. So after speaking with the lawyer, then I called the senior police officer, who is a lawyer, whose conversation with me I recorded. And I will play that for you. Then we will come back to talk about the truth about the allegations that the young man levied against Pastor E.A. Adeboye that made him angry. That Adeboye now is not speaking, but there was a time he spoke. There was a time he took action. So let us listen to that conversation. Please, don't go anywhere.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
What else, sir?
Yes.
So I don't know if you understood my question, sir.
I did not.
Okay. Let's say now that okay, you, me, and there is a third party. I said something online that I insulted you online, for instance, and probably you were not aware of it, or you were aware of it and chose not to react. Then the third party now, who was not mentioned in the whole matter, got offended on your behalf and wrote petition against me, and police came and picked me up and got me arrested. Then eventually you got to know about it. I said, no. Even though, yes, I've seen the insult, but that I should be released by the other person. So my question is it possible for that kind of a thing should happen, that someone, a third party, could get police to arrest me without your own consent?
The only thing I will tell you is that an antelope was seen running, and the other animals asked him, what is pursuing you? He said, police have started arresting goats. And when they asked him, are you a goat? He said, it will take 15 years to prove that it's not a goat. So in trying to run away from the legal and criminal practices that are not straightforward in Nigeria, except you are sure you have somebody who can follow them leg for leg, I would not want you to be wasting your time in such thing. If not, that person who wrote that petition a counter petition should be written against him, because you wrote petition against me pretending to have the consent of the other party, who have said he did not send you. I did not offend you in any way, and you are causing me this loss. These are actionable actions. These are things that one can file a suit and get paid well for what the detention, the insults, the abuse, the money, the cost, and damages. But in Nigeria, it will take 15 years to prove that you're not a goat.
This your parable is very heavy.
I'm a straightforward person.
Yes.
I am supposed to ask you to send me consultation before I answer you. Then we are all friends.
Yes. You've got that.
Not even that. I know that if you have, you will not wait for me to tell before you send me. I've seen it several times.
Sure.
So otherwise, there are some questions that, have you not heard why the tiger suffered punishment on court order? Have you not heard that before? Have you not heard it before?
No, sir.
A tiger went to court to go and question the donkey. It was tiger that sued the donkey to court. And they were asking, what have they gone to do? The donkey woke up and said that the grass in the bush is yellow. The tiger said, no, the fresh grasses are green. Donkey said, no, it is yellow. Tiger went to court. So the court said tiger should be punished. And after serving the punishment, the tiger went back to the court, which is judged by a lion. He said, what? But you yourself, you know that the grass is green. Why did you take such decision against me even when I'm lying? Wow. He said, for coming to bother me with something you already know. Why? Also, the position of lion, which is the judge, is, why were you arguing with an ass? Why did you come to bother me with a nonsense argument which you already know the outcome, especially arguing with an ass? That it is for wasting my time at the court. That's why I punish you, not because the color of the grass is either yellow or green. So you see, before you go and burn your leg for going to argue with some people, I don't know how you are involved, but if the people are ready to spend money, I'm always available to help them.
Okay, no, it's not. It's not really. There is this analysis I'm making now. This thing is between. There was this this boy is about 30 years old that made some TikTok video and really insulted Pastor Adeboye. Very, very strong words. Now, he was arrested, and the internet, was on fire that Adeboye has arrested the guy. Now, Adeboye suddenly made a comment that he learns that somebody insulted him, and another person got so angry and got him arrested. So he said that they should go and release the boy. So all of a sudden, the person who so another person came up now claiming that he was that there is this group that they have, that they were the ones responsible for the arrest of the young man, and not only him. There was also somebody who was arrested allegedly by Pastor Paul Enenche. And the guy also did a video claiming that it was not Enenche that arrested the man, that they were responsible for that arrest. So I became confused, as in, how is it possible that somebody can petition police on behalf of another person without the person giving his consent, and police will carry out that kind of work? So that is why I really want to be sure.
Yes, it is allowed. You can, in fact, as you sit down there, do you know you have the right to arrest? You have powers of arrest.
No,
you do. Section 20 of ACJ laws and Section 12 of ACJ laws of Lagos and Section 20 of ACJ Act of National Assembly states that every private citizen has the power to arrest the person who commits offense in his presence. Again, a private citizen has the right to arrest a person if you know that somebody, that person. Interestingly, it also says that if a person have any information that another person has committed an offense, and that thing if police know what you know, police will have arrested that person. The law says you can arrest the person and hand over to police.
Okay.
Do you understand that analogy?
Yes.
If what you know about me, if police know it about me, police will have arrested me. The law says you should arrest me and hand over to police. All you need to do is to tell police what this person has done. But where I am concerned is how I wish I see those videos. I'll be able to determine whether or not what was said was an offense.
Okay, I can summarize. The young man was.
I think I once, not be summary.
Okay, yes, I will send you the video, but let me just summarize. I'll send you the video. The young man was accusing Pastor Adeboye that during Goodluck Jonathan's regime, that Adeboye staged a protest against Goodluck, but that is not correct.
Who says it's not correct?
The protest picture that he was using was the protest that Pastor Adeboye did under Buhari's regime. I know that during Jonathan's regime, there was a petition written to Jonathan in October, around October 2010, citing the insecurity in Nigeria then, and also in 2015 during Buhari's regime. Now they had this walk on the road, with Adeboye over the same thing. So the young man now is claiming that Adeboye had a hand in bringing Tinubu to power, and because of that, he has kept quiet. He's not doing anything. A kind of protesting against Tinubu, that he is idiot. That Adeboye is idiot for asking his members to fast for 100 days. That he's a fool. That he will not die well, all those vulgar language. So that was what I think he did, about 2 or 3 videos before he was eventually arrested.
I don't see how that constitutes an offense.
Good.
Because offense is defined as any act or omission which renders the person doing the act of making the omission liable to any extant law. Extant law means existing law. Section 36, bracket 8 of the 1999 Constitution advance. On no account shall a Nigerian be punished for an offense that is not known to law. So I want somebody to show me what section of which law does abuse or insult, which an average Yoruba man play with, constitute. All of them are insults. We play and drink it like water here.
Yes.
So if it's an offense, then the arrest will continue. Why did they start or stop with him?
Okay.
What is the difference?
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference? Oh, you will not die well.
Yeah.
So what is the difference? Or is it because it's Adeboye? The group themselves does not, whatever group they call themselves, does not have the ability to represent a person who did not co-opt them. It is also illegal for a group to be representing a person who did not call them for his representation. That is also fraudulent. Whatever they are, even if you're an agent of the man and the man did not send you, you are acting ultra vires.
Okay, I am getting a bit confused now. Okay, now, okay, I get it. Because now, what was said that does not warrant the guy being arrested. That's why, because you said before that if somebody did a thing that if police know about it, police would have arrested the person.
Yes.
Then that person has the right to go to the police and report. But in this case now, it is not such a crime that the police would have ordinarily arrested the person. So
I don't know what crime it is at all. Don't you even use such. Such means it has a category. We have simple offense, we have indictable offense, we have peccadillos offense, we have misdemeanor, we have felony. When you say it is not such, as if you have placed it under any. Please tell me under which one did you place it and what section it is. I have my criminal code here, so I can check it.
Okay.
What section of criminal code did you offend?
Okay. No. Probably I used the wrong word. That means
I'm
the offense.
I'm not aware that constitutes an offense.
That is the issue now. Is not an offense that should have warranted an arrest by the police. So that is why you are not saying that those people a kind of should be made accountable for even going ahead to act on behalf of a person that did not involve them in his matter.
Even the police should be petitioned for taking up a matter from a person without hearing from the person that is allegedly the person on whose behalf the petitioner purported himself to be writing for. Okay.
All right. That's why I trust you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, let me ask, because I'm recording it out. I hope you don't mind if I make use of it. I cannot tell your voice.
For what? I'm a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm not who the hell.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are taking permission to record my voice after you have recorded it. You under arrest. You under arrest. You don't get permission to record my voice. You fraudulently obtained my consent by phone. After recording, you now put me on notice, and I told you I did not grant it. You think you are smart? You know that.
Now you're speaking like Nigerian police. All right, you're welcome. I'm sure if you followed, they're very interesting and funny. My guy is a funny man. It's not as if I didn't know this before, but I was wondering why should it be? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe not. Now you see that if you follow the discussion, it would at some point in time sound like he contradicted himself. He didn't contradict himself by saying that I, as a person, have the right to arrest someone who has committed a crime. And at the other end, he was like that those people who did this on behalf of Pastors Adeboye and Dr. Paul Enenche should be made to be responsible for their actions. So it looked contradictory, but the thing is that abuse, according to the two of them that I spoke with, is not an offense. It's not a criminal offense in anywhere in Nigeria. But then you know that the system is so lopsided. The system favors the rich and the mighty. It favors the rich and the mighty, and that is why my experience in the hands of the Nigerian cyber crime, the police, the NPF, NCC. My experience in their hands, because Suleiman claimed that I bullied him and he is afraid, just because I questioned what he was, saying. Now that shows you that the rich and the mighty are favored by the system. Now, but notwithstanding, I still hold, my conviction high that the young man was in the wrong. But him being in the wrong does not warrant being arrested and clamped into detention just because he went out of his way to insult an elderly person. And somebody became too zealous to act on the behalf of the pastor to get the person arrested. In fact, looking at the man himself, reading out those things that he was reading, I was ashamed on his behalf. If I was his family member, I would be very terribly ashamed, because what is he trying to achieve? This was sounding like there was one Daniel Kano in those days who formed a group. Youth earnestly asked for Abacha. In those years, and we know how that thing came up. So I don't know if this person just woke up and formed his group or something. Are we trying to politicize everything in this country? Even the church, people are politicizing church matters. It's surprising anyway. But at the same time, I won't say what I cannot prove. But if what I'm thinking is what it is, then Nigeria is actually what she is. Well, anyway, so now putting the record straight, the angst of C. King was that he claimed that Adeboye, during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, protested against Goodluck Jonathan, but now he has kept quiet because he was the one that brought Tinubu to power, or he was part of those that gave Tinubu the privilege of being called the leader of this country at this point in time. Now, I was a bit confused because I couldn't remember whether Pastor Adeboye actually staged a protest against Goodluck Jonathan. I couldn't remember. So I went on to fact check, and I found a contrary report. But, the internet is what it is. And people who want to distort the truth will always do it. At times, they do it ignorantly without knowing. Just hearing something from somebody, they pick it up. So part of what I found was a write-up that was done by Wado City Stalker. This is Old Worry, something. All right. Now he wrote, this was done in June 21, 2024. He wrote that in 2012, Pastor Adeboye led a massive protest against Goodluck Jonathan, but today he is kissing and pampering hardships on his fans. Kidnapping. RCCG petitions Jonathan to stage 1 million man protest. Abuja, the Redeemed Christian Church. Now, this was what he reported, and it was a newspaper report, Vanguard. Now, this whole thing does not agree with what he started with. Adeboye sought for and collected signatures of about 1 million people, mostly his members, to protest against the insecurity in Nigeria, killings in Nigeria. And eventually he attached this Vanguard newspaper report on that matter. And the date was October 10, 2010. So I actually went to look for this publication. And if you look at it very well, you will see it here. This is October 11, 2010. So I went on to check and to find out more things about this alleged protest that was staged by Pastor Adeboye. Most online, the search I made was not in support of any of that. So, but I remember that there was a protest that Adeboye did, physically being involved. We'll come to that. I will show you the video of that. So what I did was that I got the Vanguard publication, and here was what it read. Kidnapping. RCCG petitions Jonathan to stage 1 million man protest. This news was done by Ikechukwu Noshiri. The Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, yesterday commenced a nationwide collection of signatures of its members that would partake in a planned 1 million man protest rally against the spate of insecurity in Nigeria. Now, this protest was not against hardship, it was against insecurity. But follow. According to a petition sent to President Goodluck Jonathan by the spiritual leader of RCCG, Adeboye, which was equally attached to the registration form that was used yesterday to collect signatures of members interested in the protest rally, We, your subjects and citizens of this nation, whose signatures appear hereunder, greet you in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth and congratulate you and every Nigerian on this auspicious occasion of the Jubilee of our nation. As we mark our 50th anniversary as an independent nation, we are faced with the emergence of kidnapping as the latest Nigerian nightmare and one of the most serious threats to our common well-being. No one is safe. Note the language. This language does not connote aggression, and it is not in any way inciting the public against the government. The General Overseer of the Church, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, who yesterday initiated the move, insisted that it was high time religious organizations raised awareness over the depreciating standard of security in the country, adding, "We cannot afford to celebrate clinking glasses and congratulating each other when a horrendous decimation of the most vulnerable is picking up a pace and our stock of human capital heading for the abyss." Now, I couldn't find any other place where they came out on the streets. Now, the picture that is being circulated as in the protest purportedly organized by Adeboye against Jonathan happened to be another protest. This one was physically staged on the road, and Adeboye himself was involved with placards, and that was, I think, in 2015 under Buhari. And it was a walk that was staged on the same matter of national insecurity. And this video, I obtained it from Sahara reporters. And this is the video. So, now, having gotten to this point, the question I wanted to ask is, was it really Adeboye that helped Tinubu to ascend the leadership position of this country? We all were in this country when the election was done. And as much as I wouldn't say yes or no, but I doubt if Adeboye had that power to single-handedly enthrone Tinubu as the leader of this country. Now, are we comfortable that none of them is speaking out against the hardship? No, we're not comfortable. Are they supposed to speak out against the hardship? Yes, they are supposed to speak out. They are supposed to criticize. But then, if you also put it in the way, considering the burden of their office, some people will tell you that they are not supposed to get involved in things about politics. But if you ask me, I think that if we are following the culture of the Jews, of the Israel of God, prophets were sent by God in those days to go and rebuke kings. Because the kings, the prophets were very honorable. They stayed away from corruption. The corruption that came from the tables of the kings in those days. That was why when the prophets would go to the king, he would be brutal about the instruction that he received from God. They don't fear face, they deliver their message and they will go. So, but these days, I wouldn't say that they are dining with the politicians. I guess you have understanding and you can see what is happening. So I wouldn't know why most of them seem to have been silenced. And this is the most torturous time in our lives as a people in this country. Now, so the protest that Adeboye was involved in, physically walking on the streets, was during Buhari. And that time too, the vice president under that regime, under that administration, was a man, a pastor from Redeemed Christian Church of God. So it was, if there was a government that we can say, was more, gave Redeemed more room, it was that regime. I do not know of now. They said that the wife of Tinubu is a member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. I don't know about that. Some say she's a pastor there herself, and I laugh at that. But let me not say much more than that. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying here is that facts, must be presented as facts, so that when we speak, we'll be sure that we're saying the truth. And again, as a Christian that I am, the boy himself is not a Christian. The boy has no business with Christ. And so, when I was listening to the lawyer I spoke with, there were certain things he said, and I understand that. But at the same time, let us not look at this as if anybody is trying to attack the pastors, it is not war against pastors. It is war against falsehood. It is war against things that are not biblical. You may have been hurt by some fake preachers, some false prophets. You may also feel that you have been hurt or deceived by the man we are discussing in this video. But at the same time, we all are humans. So when we see what is right, we side with what is right. And when we see what is wrong, we side with what is wrong. And that is the difference between how I believe I operate and that of some others. I know it will sell more. I know I will have many likes and big congratulations and probably more views if I should just lambast Adeboye here, ignoring every other thing that has been said and his own side of the story that he had no hand in it, had no hands in it. Now, I think the onus is now on the lawyers that are defending this young man, standing for him. Inibehe Efyong is, I think he likes this kind of trouble. So it is now on them to prove that indeed Pastor E. Adeboye had no hands in the arrest. And then this person who has shamelessly assumed an office that was not conferred on him by anybody to become the church police or the Christian police in Nigeria should be able to also explain why he is doing what he is doing. And then if this is not lawful, the Nigerian police should also look at themselves and answer some questions. Why are they doing some of the things they are doing? Cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and what have you has become a very sweet bride now that the rich and the mighty can brandish, to use it and intimidate those that oppose what they are doing and what they are saying. As a matter of fact, I don't know how a street person could have been able to bully somebody like Pastor E. Adeboye. A good thing, Pastor Adeboye has not said so. It is understandable anyway that this thing gets to us. It gets to us. Criticisms has a way of getting to you, whether online or offline, and more so when it is unjust and untrue. But at the same time, Jesus did not arrest anybody. Jesus did not persecute anybody. If we command attention of hundreds of thousands and millions of people all over the world as pastors and general overseers, and we cannot endure some of these things, then there are some questions that should be asked or that will be asked. Jesus had the power and has the power to kill all the people that opposed him, but he chose not to do so. Even while he was on the cross, he prayed for them and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The day God opened my eyes to the same thing that Brother Stephen did. Stephen, while he was being stoned, Apostle Paul, as Saul then, championing it, Stephen looked up to heaven and said he saw the heavens opened and the Son of God standing at the right hand of the throne of God. And then they were like, what more witness do we need? They were stoning Stephen, and Stephen was like, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So I think this should be the disposition of our pastors. Like this man was calling them fathers of faith. Well, if they are truly fathers of faith, there are examples that they should lay down. And I think that in this matter, Pastor Adeboye, based on his instruction that this young man should be released, he has laid a marker, he has laid a foundation that every other person should follow. I don't know any of these young pastors who would boast to be bigger than Adeboye in terms of clout and weight, But if he has laid this foundation, if he had said release him, that means that all the other young ministers and apostles and doctors that are arresting people should take a clue from what Pastor E. Adeboye has just done and thereby stop intimidating others, stop arresting others. When you arrest sinners and you are sent to preach to the sinners, how then are you going to convince them that the same Jesus who you claim to be working for, the same Jesus that has given you the power and the influence that you have today, through which you have policemen that you can just, order around, and you have connections to governors and politicians in powers, and anything you say, they get it done. That same Jesus that gave you that platform. Now, is Jesus an intimidator? How then will you bring that sinner who has insulted you, that sinner who probably blackmailed you, that sinner who maybe lied against you? We know it is not good. We know it is not fair. But for the sake of the burden you bear as a servant of God, you have the stamina and the grace to overlook. There is no point threatening people. There's no point reminding us that you have connection, that you can get us arrested and detained. I'm not speaking this way because I'm afraid of being arrested. I'm not. You know, I know I can be arrested anytime. I can be arrested anytime. I'm in Nigeria and all these things are happening in Nigeria. And funny enough, those that are not in Nigeria can boast you are doing this one, you know. But if you are here with us, you can't even do 1/10 of what God has helped us to do. But at the same time, we trust God, we believe God. Let me stop it here because the video has become too long. I'm ending it here. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Thank you very much and God bless you. See you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.